Alright guys, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. I'm not going to get on here and spew out the same repetitive things that you've been hearing for the last several weeks from different people on YouTube and from Facebook and everything else in regards to this protest that we're seeing right now in the NFL and the NBA. But I'm going to try and throw my own little bit of knowledge in there. So if you want to bear with me for a minute, I'll try to get to the point and not ramble on if I can help it. But it's really hard for me to talk about this without getting a little bit emotional. We live in the greatest country on the planet. We have opportunities to go out and make ourselves better people. We have an opportunity to go out and to make better lives for ourselves. And why is that? Because you live in America. You live in a place where you have the right to speak your mind. You have the right to voice your opinion. You have the right to stand on your own 2 feet and to basically enact on the Constitution of the United States, which clearly says that we have a right to freedom of expression and to voice our opinions and to say what we feel is right in our hearts or what is wrong in our hearts with the way things are. Now, over the last several days, I've been watching some of these videos and I've listened to both sides of the argument. I've heard white people call Trump a white supremacist. I've heard black people say that these NFL players, these NBA athletes, are nothing but a bunch of spoiled crybaby wannabes who just basically take the money that's given to them from these big fat contracts they're making and they turn around and throw it back in our face. Fair enough. Okay? But this is what I'm going to say about it. And this is something that I've actually taken the time to sit down and to think about and to try and put together as eloquently as possible. I'm not the most educated person when it comes to speaking in front of cameras. I'm not someone who is going to make a life out of doing speeches and things along those lines. I mean, I'm not uncomfortable in front of a camera. I'm not uncomfortable in front of big crowds. I've actually had that opportunity to do both of those things. And it's not, it's not hard for me to do. So with that being said, this is what I'm going to say to it. If you have a problem with living here, if you have a problem with the way things are going in this country, that's fine. I'm not going to stand here and say that you're right or you're wrong. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to further engineer a movement where you're taking the taxpayers' dollars, you're taking the people who pay good money, hard-earned money for that matter, money that they earned by going out and getting a job, by going out and getting an education, by going out and doing what they feel is right, what their God-given right is in this country, and use that money to go out and enjoy some entertainment. That's all sports is, folks. Sports is an entertainment. It is an opportunity for you to get away from the rigors of life. It is a moment for you to basically cast off the shackles of everyday grind and stress and to just cut loose and have fun and just relax and get behind whatever sports team you choose to back. But in the same note, if I'm going to turn on my television and watch some highly paid athlete take a knee in protest to the American flag, to take a protest to the national anthem, but yet expects to have that money that he has signed up for on his contract to be paid from the same country, from the same, industry that is supporting him in his rigors, or her rigors, whichever, then that's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. Why? Very simple. Because you're taking your right, you're taking your opportunity to basically downplay the fundamentals of a country that has its problems. I'm not going to lie, it does. This country's got a lot of issues, but nothing's perfect. Okay? Nothing is perfect. Life is not perfect. I've never been to an NFL game. You want to know why? Because I don't have $200 to sit in the nosebleed section of a stadium where all the players on the field look like dots. I don't have the money to sit in the stands and pay $8 for a cup of beer that's maybe this big. I don't have the money to sit there and eat a hot dog or a hamburger that costs more money to eat than it was to fix. I have to take that money that I have worked hard for and put it towards more useful things. But if I'm going to take that money that I've worked so hard for to get and to try and earn as a living and put it in the pocket of someone who's going to stand there and utterly disrespect the country they live in, then I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to give you the chance to further disgrace this nation. So my advice is this. If you honestly think for 1 second, because the evidence is there, the numbers are out, the writing is on the wall. Ever since this whole thing started, NFL ratings have dropped. Merchandise is being burned left and right by rabid fans who have supported their teams for years upon years. I just visited a friend of mine not too long ago at work who told me that his jersey that he's had hanging up in his closet for the past 25 years that he wears every single Sunday to support his team has went in the trash can. And it's not in disgrace or in, protest of that particular player or that person that number or name is on. No. He's doing it because he doesn't agree with the methods. He doesn't agree with the fact that we, the blue-collar Americans, and I am a journeyman meat cutter. I don't make the greatest money in the world, but you know what? It pays the bills. It keeps the roof over my head. It allows me to have this house that you see right here behind me and the car in the driveway. And it also allows me the opportunity to know when someone is making 10 times the amount that I am, but yet doesn't like the country they live in, but yet they still expect to get that big fat paycheck. They still expect to get money in their pockets from their organization. And don't get me wrong, the NFL has money. It does. But you know where that money comes from? That money comes from us, the fans. Merchandise sales, ticket sales, venue sales, you name it. It all comes out of our pockets. So with that being said, I've watched maybe 2 minutes of football this year. After I turned my TV on this past Sunday and saw my team, the Indianapolis Colts, take a knee during the national anthem, I decided it's time to turn the TV off. That's my way of protesting. That's my way of saying no more. Don't expect me to put money in your pocket. Don't expect me to pay for your fat paycheck if you don't like where you live and you don't like the fact that what's going on in this country causes an inconvenience to you. And that's what it is. It's an inconvenience. Enough said.